This week, as students moving into their dorms for the spring begin a mandatory quarantine period, the Dartmouth presents an inside look at student quarantine experiences during the winter term. This winter, roughly 1,500 Dartmouth students returned to campus. Upon arrival, students immediately got tested for COVID-19 and entered an 8-day quarantine. Despite spending the first week in isolation, many students were excited to be back on campus. They also assumed that this initial precaution would ensure COVID-19 cases remained low for the rest of term.
Hi, it's day 4 of quarantining we're in phase 2. Hopefully we get some more freedom following our third test and being able to, maybe see people, interact with other people.
Hey everyone, just checking in today to let you know that things are going well. I picked up my meals and that went smoothly. I'm able to get outside, so that's really nice, and I'm slowly getting to know people. I'm really looking forward to things opening up. I hope. Fingers crossed.
Then, after a term of low case counts, the number of COVID-19 infections jumped from 4 to 25 on Wednesday, February 24th. The next day, cases rose again to 37, and the college closed all indoor gathering spaces, including Baker Berry Library and the Alumni Gymnasium. By Saturday, February 27th, active cases had surpassed 100, and Dean of the college, Catherine Lively, informed students living on campus that the college would return to Phase 2 arrival quarantine protocols to curb further transmission. For the 9th week of the term, students had to remain in their dorms, leaving only to pick up their meals from the class of 1953 Commons or go on socially distanced walks with one other person, provided they wear masks. Indoor gathering spaces remained closed, meaning students had to continue their online learning exclusively from their residence halls. Many students have expressed that re-entering quarantine affected their physical and mental well-being.
It's definitely been pretty hard because before, when we were arriving, we had the hope of getting out and being back on campus for the first time, and it was all very exciting, but right now it's kind of just like the countdown to finals and leaving and going back home, so there's a lot less to look forward to right now.
Yeah, I definitely think that definitely doesn't help not being able to access academic resources. That's a big draw of being able to be back on campus is to use the library.
At the very beginning, especially when the libraries shut down, I had a lot of work. That was emotionally a little more draining to have to stay in my room the whole day. Now I have adjusted a little bit, and as the increasing cases have slowed, I feel a little bit more like I'm on steady ground.
It does seem a little bit like a band-aid over a bullet hole, shutting down the library and stuff, because I don't think that's really where the transmissions are occurring. But I think that what they're doing is completely understandable, especially since the cases spiked so quickly.
Some students never expected the outbreak to happen.
I had actually thought about this before. During the first quarantine, I sort of entertained the idea of having to quarantine again if things went awry, and then I sort of dismissed the idea because I thought it would never happen.
But others found it relatively unsurprising.
I wouldn't say I'm too surprised it happened. I'm more surprised that it took, almost the end of winter for there to finally be kind of cases and something to be spreading around.
I'm literally not surprised in the slightest. I don't know, I saw so many people going to giant parties, heard about so many different things. I kind of just anticipated it happening, but I didn't think it was going to be as severe as it has turned out to be.
Students remained in quarantine for a little over a week before restrictions loosened and indoor gathering spaces reopened on Monday, March 8th. The rate of new infections slowed after the college instituted the quarantine measures, and active cases dropped quickly thereafter. Still, active cases peaked at nearly 150. The sudden surge marks the first major COVID-19 outbreak on Dartmouth's campus since students returned in the fall. As warmer weather arrives and many students become eligible for vaccinations, the spring term looms large as a test and opportunity for the Dartmouth community. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Declassified.